Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Step and this is going to be part 28 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines. And it has been a little bit of a while here since I played the last episode. I took a little bit of a break. It wasn't really intentional. It just kind of happened. And yeah, apologies for the break in the uploads there. But I should be back to a somewhat of a regular schedule coming up here. So I have to sort of refresh myself in what was going on in this campaign. I did already look at this before recording, so I kind of have an idea. I was in the process of trying to get a peace with the French and the Germans by messing them up. And I did cause a civil war amongst the Germans. That's good. I still wasn't going to even attempt to get that ceasefire until I left this territory and came back home, which is why I'm halfway through with rebuilding a port here in Flanders. And then I was going to send my guys home, and I think this is my second time starting to build a port here in Flanders, and then leaving the province. And then I might just do that again, because what has happened, and this is always the danger with this sort of strategy here, is that neighboring factions, in this case the Spanish, have sort of jumped in and taken the rebel provinces that I've left behind. Which is unfortunate because I had no intention of going to war with the Spanish, but that's just how these things really work out. Going forward in future campaigns, I should probably be like way more careful about this sort of thing. Like, don't do the whole like slash and burn raiding tactic in provinces that border factions that I'm neutral with, because it almost guarantees starting an additional war that I don't want to start. Because now that means that I'm not trading with any of these ports that are owned by the Spanish. And they own a few of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ports that I'm not trading with. And it shows. I'm losing 4,000 florins a turn. I have a treasury of 100 and around 35,000, which is a little cushion, I guess. I would like to have more. It seems like the more I attempt to get money, the more I lose. And yeah, I've been trying to play a very political game here, and it's been a struggle for sure, with these factions declaring crusades against me. And yeah, my attempts at destroying their crusades and causing civil wars, I did have success with that, of course, but then they just built another crusade and sent it my way. So there's been some difficulties playing this political game here. Obviously, there's not a ton of tools for diplomacy available in this game, but there are some. It's not. I don't think these games can just be total war. I think there is more to it than that. Even these earlier games, Shogun 1 and Medieval 1, I think there is a certain aspect that is, I think, left unexplored by a lot of players that just want to fight. And while I do think the fighting engine in these games is really fun to play, I also do like to try to, find other ways to achieve my objectives, of course. So, however, with that all being said, I might be reaching an impasse. Finally, I might be like, okay, I kind of might need to just go total war. I might need to just really go after everyone on the map at this point. I have the armies. I could do it. It might be time. And I was thinking, okay, what if I just started erasing factions, right? I have these armies here in Flanders. This is the culmination of my armies, my 3 stacks that attacked the French and my 3 stacks that attacked the Germans. They all met up here in Flanders, and they were going to wait for the support to be rebuilt so that they could leave. Now I'm thinking, okay, well, the Spanish are at war with me. In fact, they've inflicted quite a few losses on my navy. I did get a few back. So yeah, it looks like I've cleaned up everything except for Costa Verde. But because the Byzantine navy is so goddamn backwards, which is just shocking, I guess. Yeah, anyway, I've already covered it. There's no deep water boats available to the Byzantines. So all you have to do is block a coastal region and the economy is just completely kaput. just like that. So it looks like I do have some boats that are available, so I can swoop on into the Costa Verde and possibly maybe fight this. I will see. In fact, I can look at it right now, I suppose. What do I have? 2-star general, let's see, 1 galley, 1 fire galley, 1 dromon. Okie doke. And yeah, that might win against 2 boats. What I could also do is I could send down these 2 boats, and I could send 1 more. I could send down another fire galley just to try to make sure that I win this. Now, if these boats escape to the Bay of Biscay, then I will have 3 boats waiting for them. And if these boats escape to the Spanish coast, let's make sure I have some stuff waiting for them. So let's get, like, let's see. What do I want to leave? Kind of want to bring a dromon and a fire galley, and that way I can bring a dromon up to the Spanish coast. Not a super duper fighting force, 2 dromons and 1 galley. But if they escape down to the Spanish coast, we will see if we want to feel like we want to fight that. Now, back to, right, so that's the Spanish Navy, and it might be time just to go apeshit on the Spanish. It might be, I have the fort, they're there, my armies are there, they're taking up upkeep, of course, and I may as well do it. And I was thinking, okay, sweet. So if I could just start erasing factions, I can go back to trading with rebels, right? Because I, you know, went through the process of making sure that I could get a ceasefire with the rebels. And then I looked at this and I was like, okay, sweet. So let me double check this. Enemy. I'm enemies with the rebels. And I was like, how the fuck did this happen? This is all happening before I started recording. And I'm just, what the fuck happened? Like, I was so careful. And maybe I can't remember if I noticed this while I was recording my last episodes. I don't think I noticed this, but it must have happened when rebel armies, obviously, like you're saying, duh, I get it. Like you're saying, duh, but it doesn't, you know, I'm slow, right? So I'm just like, yeah, the rebel armies, when I'm leaving a province and I go, all right, fuck it, let's leave. And then the rebels take back the province, and obviously that counts as going to war with the rebels. Like, duh. So I'm learning these things. These things, man, it's such a balancing act. It really is. I feel like there's a future version of me playing this game that's really going to have a lot of these bits of knowledge really locked down. And I think that, not, of course, I'm enjoying this game now, but I am looking forward to that future version of me that's going to really know what I'm doing when I try to use these more, I want to say obscure, but whatever tactics and such. You know, and I'll have a better knowledge of these mechanics in the future. Obviously, I already have that when I'm playing my most recent Shogun campaign. It's a lot of fun because I really know that game right now. Obviously, it's a smaller game, but I really know that game, and I'm looking forward to having that same knowledge with this game, because right now, man, sometimes there's like, all right, look, I'm doing well, I'm fine, I'm probably gonna win this campaign, but it's, you know, it's a bumpy ride. It is a bumpy ride. Still, it's been smoother than my Aragon and my Almohads campaign, that's for goddamn sure. So yeah, the learning's happening, right? So if I erase the Spanish, which I probably can do with the armies that I have here in Flanders, the king is right here in Normandy. Like, I can attack him. He probably won't fight me. There's nothing here for him to hide in. There's no castle or anything. He probably will just retreat somewhere. They do have some armies in Ile-de-France and Anjou, which that might be where I fight them. Who knows? Or maybe they just retreat all the way back to Aquitaine. Again, who knows? But I can probably push them out of Western Europe fairly easily. In fact, do they have any heirs? So there is an heir here in Anjou. And is there any? They have another heir here in Ile-de-France as well. 2 heirs. 2 heirs in Ile-de-France. Any more? So that's 3, right? I just counted 3. And is there any more? So there, wow, yeah, the 4 heirs. This one's 62, so he's going to be, Jesus, 62. How old's the king? 68. Okay, so he's dying soon, and this guy's probably not going to be part of the family. He's obviously a brother, and that's going to bring it back down to these 3 guys. Which one's going to be the king? 34, Prince Sancho. or the 37-year-old Prince Alfonso, or the 26-year-old Prince Fernando. I would assume that these are all sons, and that would mean it's going to go to Prince Alfonso. 1 star command, 3 dread, killer instinct, so +2 valor. Nothing to, well, Jesus. Okay, so he has valor of 9, so he's going to be a tough fighter, but yeah. Anyway, so right, they're probably he's gonna die, and then his brother's probably gonna be just an uncle at that point, and it's just gonna be left down to Alfonso being the king, and then the 2 other guys being brothers. So the Spanish is a faction that probably could be wiped out within this war. It wouldn't necessarily involve me going all the way down into Spain itself, because I could probably kill these guys all up in this region. So where does that leave me then if I eliminate the Spanish? Talking about my economy, right? Since I can't trade with the rebel factions right now, and since I can't get a ceasefire unless I get rid of this, and I know like you are all just like chomping at the bit right now, like do it, just do it, take Disastrous. Maybe I will. Maybe. This is an option. I can take Khazar using my armies here in Georgia, and we can get that epic climatic battle that would be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. Might be necessary so that I can go back to trading with the rebels to get rid of that rebel province on my border. But the problem is that I would have to keep it, and by keeping it, I feel like that risks war against the Novgorods. That's just my gut feeling, is that the Novgorods could fight me at that point. And right now I am trading with three of their provinces there, and then a fourth one down here in Crimea that they also do own. Also trading with the Mongols, which I am neutral with, right? Yeah. So it is nice to have a buffer so that I'm not going to war with a faction, one of the factions that is not at war with me. So yeah. I kind of, so here's what I'm thinking. By wiping out the Spanish, I would be opening the floodgates to the faction that should have been dealing with the Spanish this entire freaking time, and that is the Almohads. The Almohads are a faction that, from a military standpoint, are leaving me alone. They have not really garrisoned Cyrenaica much at all, and they probably will never attack in my direction. Although actually, now that I just said that, man, I'm trying to remember. I should know this. I don't think, no. Egypt never becomes one of their homelands. Does it? Damn. Now I'm starting to question myself. It doesn't, does it? If it does, it's very, very late in the campaign, but I don't think it does. From an historical standpoint, that wouldn't make too much sense. I know they wanted to kind of take over all of the other Islamic kingdoms or what have you, but I don't think that would be a part of their historical objectives. So I don't think that they would have any incentive to attack Egypt. And they've been good. They've been well behaved, too well behaved, but towards me at least, they haven't done anything. But by taking Spanish territory, that would mean that I'm trading with a faction that's taking these ports off of what would be ex-Spanish territories. And it doesn't have to stop there. The Almohads could continue on into Western Europe and continue to be my greatest trading partner. When I'm looking at factions that I'm not at war with, and I'm at war with the French, the Germans, the Hungarians, and the Spanish. So when I'm looking at the factions that I'm not at war with, and I'm wondering which ones could I help empower so that I could trade with them, and maybe, they can take more provinces with ports on them. I'm looking at the Italians, and I'm not very hopeful. I'm looking at the Danes, and I'm not very hopeful. I'm looking at the Polish, and I'm not very hopeful. So that's it. That's, you know, it's the Polish, the Danes, and the Italians. And yeah, the Novgorods and they're just too far out here, you know. If they wanted to attack into Scandinavia and start taking these rebel provinces, that'd be great. But these rebel armies are actually kind of decent. So there's that. And they all are fighting the re-emergent Mongols here that are in Kiev and Lithuania. So they're a little bit busy. They have a fight on their hands, you know. Then these Mongol stacks are, you know, they're decent. This group is a little light, I think. This is where the heavy guys are. Yeah, the heavy guys are in Lithuania. The forces in Kiev are lighter. So there's going to be this is a scrap between the Novgorods and the Mongols. They're not going to be in a position to start taking territories that I can trade with. That's not something I can really hope for. So it really does go back to the Almohads, right? Like, this is the faction that I need to start wrecking shit so that I can make money off of them. However, is that creating a beast that I'm going to have to deal with later on down the road? Well, yes, it is. They are already outpacing me in points. Not by much. They're outpacing me by... Well, shit, maybe now it's different. Yeah, I'm at 9, so I'm making 14 points for my next scoring period. And the Almohads are, let's see, 8, 12, 16, 17. Yeah, they're going to be outpacing me by 3 points. And I do have a lead on them, you know, by 30 points. So, like, it's not going to happen fast. But I'm going to be making less and less points as we go along. And the Almohads, I was surprised when I played their campaign. I thought that their late period points would really dry up. And I think they do. I think there's a dip for like a couple periods, a couple counting periods. But then I think it does stabilize into being a pretty respectable points grab, even in the late game, which shocked me. I didn't think that was going to happen. So I have to be aware of that. And the reality is, the thing is, this is probably the reality whether or not I embolden them or not, is that they will have to be dealt with anyway. At some point, they will have to be dealt with. So I may as well use them to make money off of them before I have to fight them. Would they be too strong for me to fight? I don't think so. They have, their armies are very similar to the Byzantines in the sense that they are quite strong in the beginning, but then they really lose any avenues to tech up right around like the mid game, if not even before the mid game. And that's where I'm at. Like, that's why I've kind of stopped building stuff, is because there's nothing really left to build. You know, I've really gone crazy with teching up as much as I can. And it's just to the point where I'm kind of waiting so that I can build better ships here in my shipbuilding provinces. And eventually I will be able to get guns and gunpowder, artillery stuff. But as far as my land forces go, I'm pretty sure I have everything that I can already train. So that's that, you know. And that's pretty similar for the Almohads. They're in the same boat. So if we're like comparing our late game armies, I think my late game armies can compete with the Almohads, especially if I have some Varangians saved up for that fight. So yes, we're back to the original question. Should I use them? I mean, should I just, you know, erase the Spanish and essentially open the door for the Almohads to come on in? Heck, I could erase the French. You know, I can do all of this as long as I'm not taking provinces that actually border the Almohads, and therefore risking them taking provinces that I'm trying to leave behind and then causing that war. That's my new idea. Now, that's like the Spanish, right? What about the Germans? The Germans I have caused a civil war with. Can I get a ceasefire with them? I wasn't going to attempt that until I actually did leave Flanders. And it seems like there is a possibility stability. They did lose some territories. They lost Hungary to a rebel army. In fact, I think that the rebels might have won. Maybe not. I saw that this emperor has 6 points of influence. Maybe he just earned that by winning the Civil War. The fact that they still have 4 stacks here in Croatia indicates that I think that those were loyalist stacks from the beginning, so this might be the original emperor. So I don't know if I did enough to get a ceasefire with him, but I can try. Once I leave Flanders, and once Flanders goes rebel, I can attempt to get a ceasefire with the Germans. If they say no, my next idea is, all right, well, maybe it's time to fuck up the Germans, you know? Like, really, like, go hard. Like, go harder than I went before. I could still leave. That's the beauty of, like, this. Like, the fact that there's just this tiny little rebel force here in Hungary. And this should be conquered by the Hungarians, to be honest. But I can still leave 3 stacks here in Serbia and still attack Croatia with 4 stacks at least. And they don't have to stop there. They can continue on into, you know, Austria or even Venice. This is where the emperor is, so I could fight him. And yeah, I could just basically just kind of do more to them what I already have started. And it doesn't have to be a complete swath across the entire thing. I can just kind of do a little, just really punch them in the face, you know, just really do a Croatia, Venice, Tyrolia, Bavaria, Austria, and then right back. I could even, if the Hungarians have like retaken Hungary by then, I can even like stop by there just to like hit them again. And just do, yeah, just see if I can get a ceasefire with at least the Germans, if not also the Hungarians. But that is my idea, right? Again, I have all of these armies sitting around. They're being fed. They're being paid. I may as well use them. I never wanted to overstretch my lines, but it's important to not overstretch my economy. That's obviously, there's a lot of game left. There's a lot of game left. So I do have to, you know, pay attention to these things. That's my idea. So that's right. So let's, I think that, should I attack with all of these armies all at once, or should I split them up and attack Normandy and Ile-de-France at the same time? That's an interesting question. I think that 3 sets of 3 is not a bad idea. It does mean that they could potentially reinforce Ile-de-France with these 2 stacks from Anjou, and we could get a 4v3, but these aren't full, like this isn't a full stack necessarily. So, and they have a lot of these Genites. They're good units, but I have to remember when I'm looking at these stacks that a lot of these forces are just 40-man units of light cav, Jav cav to be more precise. And they are good, but the problem with the Spanish is that they just train too many of them. They're great units. In fact, I think they start with the horse breeder here in Leon, even though they only have a castle, or I mean, sorry, a fort, and they shouldn't be able to build a horse breeder until they have a keep. I'm pretty sure they start with a fort in Castile and Leon, and then a tier 2 horse building, which is the horse breeder in Leon, so they can train Genites from turn 1. It's a good unit. It's good, but it's one of those things. It's kind of like the Yosugi in Shogun 1, where because they have a price discount for archers, they just go archer crazy. And it feels like that's the same way with the Spanish with the Genites, where they're just like, all right, so we can train Genites from turn 1, and so that's just like all they do. And they're super annoying to fight up against, like, sure, but, you know, just have archers. That's just how you defeat skirmish cav. Have a bunch of foot archers and shoot them. So, you know, it's kind of annoying, but you just stay patient and you do a slow push across the map. It should be no problem. I think that splitting my armies into 3 and 3, I think that's going to be the right call. And I'm fairly certain that these armies of mine are healthy enough to just continue on into another a war here, essentially. You know, they really, like, looking at these armies, they really have not taken a whole lot of damage. Okay, so this stack actually got a little bit banged up, but that's just one. Ooh, and there's only one man left, and my 7. Ooh, I forgot. Okay, a one-man general, Lord Ophnatrophus. Okay, that's not ideal. He's a 7-star general, so and he also has 9 valor, so he's jacked. But yeah, 1-star, a one-man general is always a nerve-wracking thing. How about this guy? This is the new. I'm pretty sure this is Prince Manuel's unit. Now Lord Focus, Prince of Antioch. 9 stars, good shit, and he does have 39 men left in his unit, so he's good to go. He's good to go. So I should be sending Lord Ophnatrophus into the quote-unquote easy battles, and I can send Lord Focus into the hard battles. So I can send him down to Ile-de-France, and Lord Focus can go down, or sorry, Lord Ophnatrophus can go to Normandy. Yeah, that's my thought. That's my idea. So I can split these up. I unfortunately will have to kind of dig through these armies again and see which ones go where, but that should be fine. And once it feels so stupid. I've been trying to build this port now twice, and I'm just going to leave it again. So that's a waste of money, but that's how it goes. Like I said, once I lose Flanders officially, I will try to get a ceasefire with the Germans. We'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, because yeah, this is interesting. This is an interesting dilemma to solve. But I'm not building shit, just boats. That's all I'm building right now. It's just freaking boats. I'm working on some fortresses here in these islands so that I can get the nice boats at some point. That's it. As I was splitting up these armies, I realized that they might not be as strong as I had originally thought. I seem to be missing a few units that I would rather have, and as I was about to send some reinforcements straight to Flanders, I realized, oh yeah, that's right, I can't because there's Spanish fleets blocking my reinforcement path. So instead of waiting a few turns where, you know, this is how long that could take to hunt down these boats, because all it takes is 1, and there is 2. So hunting down these 2 boats could take longer than I would like, all while I'm waiting and losing 4,000 florins per turn, and I don't want to wait. So let's just go on and attack the Spanish right now. This could be a tough fight. I was tempted to keep my armies together once I realized they're not quite as strong as I would have liked them to be. However, let's just go for it. There is 9-star general here, Lord Mendoza. Jesus, skilled assaulter, skilled attacker. So he's even better. He's a 1-star general when he assaults castles or attacks. Brave beyond belief, so +3 morale for his soldiers. Natural leader, so another +2 morale. Unhinged loon, so that's -3 morale. So that these two cancel each other out, the brave beyond belief and the unhinged loon. But he's still giving +2 morale for being a natural leader. And fanatic doesn't do anything. Okay, yeah, tough general. Jesus, I kind of wasn't really looking at that. And is there another really good general here? It's just, there's an error, but that he's not going to command the army. It's going to be, it's an optical illusion. It looks like there's multiple very good generals here, but it looks like it's just the one, I suppose. And then up here, it's just going to be the king, and he's going to be retreating. There's no way he's going to stand and fight. And he's not, yeah, nothing to really worry about there. But yeah, an 9-star general, that's not nothing. So they might reinforce Ile-de-France, and we might end up getting a good battle here. But I did send my better of my 2 armies here to Ile-de-France, so we will see how that goes. And yeah, hopefully we can hunt down these Spanish boats so I can reinforce these armies at some point, because they might put up a better fight than the French and the Germans. I'll tell you what. So let's finally end this turn. I've been talking long enough. Let's see how this goes. I'm very, very curious. Because, yeah, this has been, I mean, so far, everything's been going to code. In fact, a little bit too smooth, I suppose. And, man, I really just had to shake that hornet's nest, didn't I? Because now it's kind of the Wild West out here. Like, I'm kind of really wondering what is going to be the next step. So yes, the Novgorods tried to attack Kiev, and that's not going to work. There's a lot of Mongols there. As we expected, the Spanish did retreat from Normandy. Yay! And they retreated from Ile-de-France. Okay, they did not. They decided to consolidate their forces instead of pushing out to reinforce Ile-de-France. They're just going to fall back, and that's totally fine. So unrest in Flanders. So it looks like the French will be taking back Flanders, and yeah, some Ketchian assassins that belong to the papacy here in Bulgaria. Improve farmland, 60%. Finishing Constantinople. That's not going to save my economy. That's just going to give me a little boost. That's all. Prince Michael, I think this is my next in line. Chivalrous, +2 morale, -2 dread. Okay, well, so he's going to be better as a battlefield leader, but less good as a governor, because that's going to give less population loyalty. But whatevs. And Lord Commandus, so this is a governor, +10 happiness, +10% agricultural production. That's good. That's a good one. And these are all generals, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. So we will lose this at the end of this turn, and then I can try to get that ceasefire with the Germans. We will see if they want it. And you can go back. You can chill. I don't need you rushing off to your death. Yep. Cancel mission. You can try to kill that emissary. And is there any buildings to destroy? Watchtower. Destroy it. In Normandy. There's nothing here in Normandy. Okay. That's fine. I'm just going to be attacking Anjou and Brittany. And they might stand and fight here in Brittany. They might. It's going to be led by their 2-star king, but there is also going to be an heir there as well. Prince Fernando. And this doesn't seem like a great army. There's, you know, like tier 1 spearmen, militia sergeants, a lot of urban militia. They do have some halberdiers. That's a decent armor, decent unit. Not necessarily a game changer, but, you know, it's decent armor on it. Yeah, these armies aren't great here in Brittany. And I'm not... See, that I am worried about the 9-star general, but I'm not too worried about the horde of Genites. Again, they are good, so I could be speaking too soon. But as long as you have archers on foot to shoot them... I don't know if I have that many archers, though. I was just thinking, too, that I wonder if I should attack Anjou first, if my army is from Ile-de-France, just so that these armies can't escape into Normandy and get behind me as I'm attacking into Brittany. But I don't think that's what I should be doing. I think I should be attacking Anjou and Brittany at the same time. That way, if I wait a turn and I only attack Anjou from Ile-de-France as I'm waiting here in Normandy, what they could do is they could gang up on me with all of these Spanish armies against my forces here in Normandy. And that's not what I want. So let's just attack all out, both provinces. If they do slip behind me, like, oh well. You know, we'll focus on what's in front of us and deal with it as we go. Could be a little bit of a goose chase, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. So we do have, so the Spanish boats have split up. Okay, that's good for us. So what do we have? We have a 3-star bark. Okay, that's tough. But we have a galley, a fire galley, and a dromon. Dromon's 1 stars, and then one of these boats is a 3-star. So we should freaking win. So let's see if we can win this. And then down here, we have a 2-star bark. Okay. 2-star bark. So let's again pull the Dromon out. and he can attack, and then I'll be attacking with 2 fire galleys and 1 dromon. And I have a 2-star general there, and a 2-star general there, so we might have ourselves a fight here against the Spanish. Okay, that's yeah, I did not see those Spanish armies moving off. Looks like I've killed that emissary. Hurrah! And yes, the French have taken back Flanders, so I will try to get that ceasefire with the Germans. We will see if they want to accept that. And yeah, it looks like we are. Okay, this is a little bit different. Lord Mendoza, which is that god general, is he moved up to Brittany. So the king is no longer here. The king did move off. I will have my own 7-star general, so I'm outclassed a little bit. And it looks like it's not 9, it's just an 8-star general. Okay. So it's my 7-star general versus his 8-star general. But he has a full unit. He has 18 men in his unit, 9 valor, so they're going to be tough. You know, I need to really shoot them with javelins if I can. That'd be preferable, I think. It's an early period Royal Knight unit. You can see it's not like a high period, because this is the high period, and you can see the image, it has more armor and whatever. So this is a unit that has not been retrained. It's not going to have as much armor, therefore it probably can take a bit of damage from regular archers. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's a silver lining there. As far as the first wave goes, I'm seeing 2 javelin units, 2 halberdiers, 1 archer, 3 militia sergeants, 2 regular spears, only 1 genite. There's another unit of feudal sergeants, so that's a tier 2 spear unit. So it looks like 3 spears altogether. It's an okay infantry corps, but they're not bringing any swords. That's their problem. And I have swords. I have a pretty decent sword unit in my Byzantine infantry, which I do have swords in this army, right? Do I just have the one? Okay, so I do have 2 sword units. Okay, thank God. And they have armor upgrades. At least this one has armor upgrades. This one just has the 2. That's a tier 1 armor upgrade, and this is the tier 3, I believe. Yeah, so that's good. These 2 units of Byzantine infantry should be able to cut through a lot of the infantry that they have available to them. However, the militia sergeants and the halberdiers do have a bonus versus armor, so they can do some chopping, and I don't know if that's going to be the best fight for my Varangian guards. They will dominate, but the Varangian guards have good armor themselves, so it's not the most economical fight to put them in against another polearm unit, like a halberdier or a militia sergeant. So they're going to be better served at just cutting through, like Royal Knights, for instance. That's going to be a better job for them. So yeah, that's going to be, I think that's the idea, is have a front line of spears and swords, have the Varangians in reserve, and just throw them in against whatever heavy cav unit is going to run in. And yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Reinforcements wise, well, I didn't even look at what the forces are. I'm outnumbered by a couple hundred, but it's not. The numbers are very close. So their reinforcements. What am I seeing here? Peasants, urban militia, a few more units of militia sergeants with some upgrades. Mind you, that's one thing to keep in mind. Yeah, the Spanish, because they have 4 provinces that do have that iron resource, they can all have metalsmiths, and I'm just now seeing that right now, that yeah, the Spanish javelins and the halberdiers, there's some weapon upgrades on a few of these units here, so that's worth keeping an eye on. And in reserve as well, militia sergeants with armors and weapon upgrades. Yeah, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. Overall, though, I think that my army comp should be able to win this battle for me, so let's head on in and find out. This might be my first time fighting in Brittany, and I will tell you what, that's an imposing hill to be looking at just from the outset, because I'm not going to be able to see the enemy army and how close they are. Ooh, it looks like it's starting to rain as well, even though I did pick a fine day. That's not great, because I did bring some naphtha throwers into my first wave, so Yep, and they're starting right in front of... Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know if I can... Even though I am on the attack and they are on the defense, I kind of would expect them to want to attack me just because I do have a range advantage to them. So I'm a little bit surprised that they're not immediately backing off. But I will also take that because I need the time to get my forces positioned. Oh man, that is just a nightmare. They came up right in front of me. So it looks like they are, yeah, they're attacking. Luckily, they gave me just the shortest amount of time to get ready, and yeah, I can't even use my goddamn naphtha throwers, even though I picked fine weather. So, militia sergeants going into my Byzantine infantry. Let's get my cataphracts off to the sides, like, now. And... because, yeah, like... I don't know if I'm gonna win. I don't know. Militia sergeants, they might even have, like, decent... Who's winning? I'm losing badly. Oh my god. Okay, so I need to get in there with my Byzantine, or with my cataphracts. And then how are we doing on this side? So we're still not... So yeah, like, oh god. Okay, so let's go there, and let's go here. Spearmen versus my... Okay, so my Byzantine infantry should shoot up their spearmen. That should work. So more militia sergeants going on into my cataphracts. That's not good. So you guys get away, please. My Byzantine infantry are running away. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's crash in here with my cataphracts on this side. And hopefully we can clear up these militia sergeants. Hopefully. And then... Can I throw some javelins into the sides of these guys? Yep, and let's maybe charge these Royal Knights with my Byzantine Cav. I don't mind that. Halberdiers chewing up my... Okay, let's get some Varangians going into these Halberdiers. It's not a great fight for me, but like... whatever. And yeah, my cataphracts got beaten back badly by these militia sergeants. Ugh, yikes, 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 yikes. Let's turn and face with my Bulgarians to shoot into the flanks of these militia sergeants here. And are we gonna... Let's see. Okay, my javelins are running away. Ugh, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Spearmen running away. And yeah, naphthas are not working if it's raining. It's a bad outcome for me. Let's see what we can rally here with some of my forces, because we can get a lot of firepower into these militia sergeants, even though they are decently armored. That's not great for me. Let's see, you guys. So you guys are just going to continue to... Yeah, can I get you guys... I don't know what all of that force is doing. I don't know what they're doing out there. And if we could beat these... Yeah, feudal sergeants getting into my Bulgarian brigands, that's not ideal. I kind of would have hoped that you guys would run away. Let's see if I can get javelins back into position to help out here. And spearmen as well. Can you guys help out? And can you guys help out? You guys help out, and then you guys help out. Charge back into the militia sergeants. Naphthas just completely... Oh. So it is... Did it stop raining enough so that I can use them? Can I throw some grenades into these... Yeah, how are my Varangians doing? Are they winning? Are they winning? Maybe. They might be winning. So let's... And nope, now we can't. Now we can't use our naphthas. So I think there was a split moment when I could use them, and now I can't. So let's go here, and then... Let's try to get my javelins around to the rear of these feudal sergeants here. And then cataphracts, yeah, you guys can come back as well. And chase down, chase down these archers. Yeah, 8 cataphracts can usually probably beat a unit of archers. Hopefully. And yeah, spearmen are running away from these feudal sergeants. Jesus. And yeah, naphtha throwers running away. Varangian guards are running away. Holy moly. Wow. That's... Yeah, wow. That was, That's a poor outcome. Byzantine Cav are still skirmishing with like half of the enemy army, and I don't know why they're like I don't understand. Why did this force not attack? They beat me with half their army. That's just oof. Yikes. Oh man. I thought I was just gonna plow through the Spanish forces with the forces that I had in Flanders, and I suppose I should have kept my armies together, because yeah, this is not the outcome that I was expecting, but I guess those upgrades are going to take you a long ways. And yeah, man, feudal sergeants, they got some more Royal Knights coming in, obviously a good unit, and I still have reinforcements that I can bring on. Will my reinforcements be enough to take on what is going to be essentially like 2 waves of their forces? I guess we'll find out. Now I'm just trying to bring some forces on so I can save my general, because this is my one-man unit general. He hasn't even fought this battle so far. And yeah, these Byzantines, they've just been on skirmish mode this entire time. But now, let's see, Proto Legion against some Royal Knights, and let's send the Byzantines in as well. And yeah, even the general can throw, I can throw him in as well, why not? The militia sergeants are going to be a problem. These are the same 2 units that have just been chewing through like everything that I've had. Which is just, yeah, so it's always a surprising thing for me. Like, I always get very humbled by the humble militia sergeant. And in this case, especially, I suppose, because of their upgrades. And I should not forget, you know, that this is a 9-star general that I'm facing off against. Where is he? So he's right here. And he hasn't even fought yet in this battle. And yeah, this army is just chewing through mine. I have to imagine that their generals... abilities is helping out a lot, but gosh, my general's also a 7-star general. Like you would hope that he would hold up here. So let's see if I can get these Proto Legion. If I can get control of them, I don't have control of them yet, but if I can bring them into the flanks of these, let's see. So these militia sergeants are backing off. They're not running away, but they're backing off. And I still have some Proto Legion fighting here. And come on, guys, I don't have control over them. Come on, please. Please, help me. I have to wait till they get to the white flag. And some arbalesters as well, so... Let's see here. Alright, do I have control over you yet? No, not yet. Okay, now I do. Alright, charge on in. Jesus Christ. And then arbalesters. Yeah, I don't know. They can definitely shoot at the Spanish unites. And it looks like we may have broken some units here, but still, there's a lot of unites. And there is a lot of... Alright, let's get you guys here. Maybe I can start shooting at some unites. But they might just get charged by... Yeah, they're just going to get charged by unites, aren't they? Yeah, let's see if I can get them, like, over here, maybe. And... Ooh, I should be bringing in more guys. Yep. Oops, I did not mean to place that. Let's try to bring this back here. And can I get my arbalesters somewhere where they can shoot? Because right now they're kind of, they have not been effective so far. Let's see, horse archers, that's not really the unit that I needed, but it's the unit that I have, so if I can get them in a position where they can shoot, yeah, arbalesters, get up here and shoot. My general's still fighting, my Proto Legion. Oh man, tough fight, tough fight. Alright, horse archers are shooting, arbalesters, I think they're shooting as well, finally. And yeah, horse archers are freaking out because they're in skirmish mode, so let's try to get you guys, like, somewhere where you can just shoot. That's totally fine, and then you guys as well. Just get up here and shoot, that's totally fine. Arbalesters, just get, maybe... Where do I want? Where can you be safe? And where can you shoot? Trebizond archers, spearmen... Some Byzantine lancers. There, I got. Ooh, naphtha. Here we go. If I can get my naphtha throwers into the rear and just throw some grenades into this, oh man, that could be clutch. All right, arbalesters, are you shooting? I don't know. It doesn't say they're shooting. So, where do I need to get them? I need to get them over here. It says I can't control them yet. That's annoying. All right, Byzantine lancers, can I get you? Man, it's really frustrating not being able to control my units that are sitting, like, right here. Naphtha throwers, please, come on, please. Don't walk to the flag. Just start fighting now. Come on, guys. My general's still alive. Holy shit, this guy, he's doing what he can. Come on, Naphtha. Like, don't get chewed up by militia sergeants. Come on, guys. Oh, man, I could have really used their grenades.
Your general
yeah, my general just died, and that's probably going to be it. Oh man, really frustrating once you get pushed up against the wall here, and you have to wait for your units. Gosh, I mean, if my units would just be under my control faster, I feel like I would have had a chance. You know, I it wasn't nothing, you know. I feel like I could have done something there with my arbalesters and my horse archers and my grenades, but not being able to control them because they have to wait until they have to march to the flag before they can be controlled. Oh yeah, what a freaking nightmare. So yeah, that's a disaster. That's going to be the end of that. So let's just kind of do that. And yeah, lost 1,000 men, only killed not even 400. And yeah, I lost a 7-star general as well, which sucks. That really, really sucks. What an awful, awful result. Jesus Christ. Guess I'm rusty. I guess that's how it goes. So I do outnumber this army, and this army is being led by a 3-star general, not one of the Royal Knights. This is just going to be a one-man unit of Genites. This is in Anjou. And this is going to be the one that has a lot of Genites. Like a ton of Genites is going to be in this one. And this is being led by my 8-star general, Lord Focus. So this is my better army. So there's that. There's that going for me. And I would say that this is their worst army. The amount of Genites they have, they just really don't have much in the way of infantry. So I should be able to form a solid battle line, and I should be able to use my archers to cut through their skirmish cav. We are going to be getting a winter battle here in Anjou, and I would imagine, as the last battle, I would imagine them to attack me, even though I am the attacker. And I do have to say, this is something that I just want to mention real quick, because I do wish that the weather system in this game worked a bit differently. It's unfortunate that it doesn't really matter what you choose for the weather that you want to get as the attacker. It's your right to choose if you want to fight in a winter storm, or rain, or a sunny day, or fog. And I do like that they added some variance to it so that even if you pick something, the weather will change. I do like that, but I don't like either A, how often it happens, or B, how soon it happens. Because you can pick a fine day, as I did in that last battle, and then it just immediately from the beginning of the battle started raining. And the units that I was expecting to contribute to that battle, being my naphtha throwers, were a non-factor, of course, because it was raining from the outset. And as you know, as the attacker, that's my right, is choosing the weather. That's how it was in Shogun. In Shogun, it didn't change. There was no variance, and I liked that. And initially, I didn't mind it so much in medieval, but over time, it is becoming a frustrating thing to deal with. It seems like it limits certain unit combinations and strategies. Like once you think, okay, well, man, I can't count on gunpowder, or I can't count on ranged units because it doesn't really matter what I choose. It doesn't matter because the weather can change. Then, all right, fine, let's just go melee heavy and just smush them. And that's unfortunate. I would like to be able to say, hey, I'm using gunpowder, I'm going to pick good weather. You know, in Shogun, that's what you could do. You could say, hey, I'm going to fight a certain way, so I'm always going to pick weather that suits the way I want to fight. If I want to fight using ninjas, I can choose to fight in fog. If I'm going up against archers, I can choose to fight in rain. This matters, you know, if I'm going up against an army that has a lot of armor in it, I can choose to fight in wintertime. And yeah, this system here in medieval, it's a little too wonky. It's a little bit too, like, whoa, crazy. You get to be a general adapting to the variance of, you know, like, okay, yeah, I get it, but like, it does take away from the experience, I do think. And I think it's stupid that the weather would change immediately. If it's going to change, fine. But these battles are so long. Let it change 20 minutes into the battle. Let it change then. Let it change, like, once we're on a third wave of fighting, you know. Then let it change. That's going to be the X factor to the battle is, oh, rainstorm. Halfway through a huge, long battle with multiple waves of enemies. You know, whatever. Like, that's when it gets crazy. But in the beginning, what's the point? I spend a lot of time off camera, you know, of course I edit this out, but I spend a lot of time on my opening army compositions, and even the first couple of waves that I want to bring on as reinforcements, what's the point in that? If immediately from the beginning of the battle, I can't use some of the units that I've chosen because the weather changed immediately. And it's funny because there's a weather condition that will say, for instance, it's like it's fine weather, but it will pick like it will rain later or something like that. Like it will say in the description that the weather is going to change. Okay. But then you will say like, oh, fine weather. It will say, as it said for this one, it will say it was fine weather. Okay. And then it just changes, even though it doesn't say that. It's going to change. And that's where it's like, okay, like that's not fun. That's stupid. That's bad. That's poor game design. So that's one thing. It's just interesting because I look at these games and there's a lot that they've added to this that's enjoyable and new and fun. But it is interesting coming from Shogun to Medieval and seeing what we gained, but also what we lost. And I feel like this is something that was lost. So it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. But anyway, that's my rant over. We have a battle to fight, so it's going to be interesting to see how fast this one starts. They luckily are a bit off this time, so thank you guys. And let's get my guys set up here. This army's composition is a little bit different. I did not bring naphtha throwers in the first wave because I think that they are better suited when going up against a lot of infantry, particularly. They obviously are all good against heavy cav, and this army that I'm going up against is neither has a ton of heavy cav, nor do they have a lot of heavy infantry, so I didn't think that the naphtha throwers are going to have a place here. So what I instead opted for is to bring some Pavis Arbalesters in their place. And they're going to do a wonderful job, I think, at just providing a lot of archer fire into these Spanish Genites over the course of the battle. Now, these Genites, as expected, are going to be spreading out. This is what they do. They go to spread all the way out. They leave the infantry way in the back. And yes, we have two Genites on our right flank, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Genites on my left flank. Let's pull back my horse archers a little bit. They're going to be used defensively. They're not going to be skirmishing with this skirmish heavy army. They're just going to be pulling back and providing. There's basically going to be like archers. Archers, they can do a little bit of chasing. So, all right, where's the action? Who's shooting? Are you shooting? You're not shooting. Who is... These Pavis guys must be shooting. Yeah, they're doing some shooting right here. Good, good, yes. And what I might end up doing is creeping on into this forest. That doesn't seem like the worst idea for me. I can push up here a little bit. And then on this side, I can sort of do like this. And I can bring, again, my cav is going to be used defensively in this battle. So let's bring back my cataphracts so they don't get javelins in the face. And then I have some Bulgarian brigands and some Varangian guards in reserve. So here, and then, ooh, you guys back up, please. And my general can come out and support, possibly. And Bulgarian brigands, you screen here. And yeah, we're picking them apart. This unit's already lost 10 Genites, so yeah, they're being picked apart. My general can help out if they want to, like, really hurt my Genites, and my Bulgarian brigands will provide firepower as well. And this unit as well, like, they're gonna have to get past my swords and my Pavis Arbalesters if they want to get to my cataphracts, and that's gonna be tough for them. So far, they're taking casualties, and my armies are not taking too many casualties. Yeah, this is looking okay so far, General. I don't know what you're doing. You can back off, please, and thank you. Horse archers, you can stand facing the right direction so that you can get shot into these units right here. And yeah, they're being picked off. Ooh, what's this? You guys want to come? You want to tangle with my spears? Okay. I wouldn't recommend that, but whatevs. And let's see, Arbalesters, maybe you can... I was going to say maybe you can back off, but I don't want to do that anymore. Wish I could cancel that. No, no. All right, there. You just go like there and keep shooting at these unités. Yeah, this is going okay on this side. Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage against these 2 units of unités. We're wiping them out. So they are close enough so that they are throwing some javelins into my Byzantine infantry. That's, you know, tough, but whatevs. I have a lot of archers, and these arbalesters are just going to keep shooting and shooting and shooting. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more damage to them than they will be doing to us. So, yep, and look at this. It's raining right now. It's raining. It's winter time, and it's raining. So that's you know, that's just and this is important because this is a battle that I came into knowing that I'm going to need my archers to do a lot of damage for me against all of these. Do they have artillery? I feel like I just heard artillery. Yeah, they do have a ballista, and I probably should have paid attention to that. They have 2 ballistas. Okay, interesting. I don't feel like it should be hitting me. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, like it's really important that my archers inflict casualties in this battle. It's very, very important that that's how this happens. And I know that going in, right? Like I chose this army so that my archers can do a lot of damage. Well, rain is going to mitigate that damage, and it's going to make my shots less economical. Which, you know, I still think that it's going to be fine. Arbalesters do not. I don't know if it's 0 damage mitigation from the rain, or if it's less damage mitigation. What I'm trying to say is they are affected less from weather than regular crossbows and regular bows. So there is that. There is that. But see, that's also like a part of my point, though, is that I get. I don't mean this in the mean way, but I do get bored of the suggestions that I should use Arbalesters. I get it. They're a wonderful, wonderful unit. They're a wonderful unit. They're too good. They're overpowered. You know, there's not much of a gap in between the technology required to get crossbows into Arbalesters. So you should just get them. They're really, really good. But I don't want to spend the hundreds of hours that I plan on putting into this game just playing with the same armies. That's just going to drive me crazy. I want to play with guns. I want to play with guns. Like, really badly. I think they're really fun. I had a great time playing with gunpowder units in Shogun. So I do want to be able to enjoy that. And I don't want to just get stuck using Arbalesters over and over and over again because they're the best unit. Like, that's not what I'm gonna call enjoyable. Anyway, that's my rant. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully I just don't keep ranting. See, like it changed into snow. Like it went from, you know, rain to snow. I don't hate this. It's just that look at how much of the battle time is remaining. You know, like, would it have been the worst thing if we waited halfway before it started raining, and then maybe we waited 3/4 of the way through before it started snowing? Wouldn't that be more neat? You know, to be like, the weather changed. Now when the weather changes, it's just like, oh, weather changed. Like, it's just you know what's gonna happen. All right, I promise I'm done. I'm done talking about that. It looks like, for the most part, ammunition's good on most of my units. It seems like this horse archer is a little bit low, but they still have some arrows, and then this unit of Bulgarian brigands is a little low as well. But let's march forward. I can't see shit. I don't know where the enemy is, so yeah, that's never ideal. Let's bring my horse archers up. You can do some scouting for me, and let's just stay high and tight. Make sure if any boogeymen jump out at us from the snowy forest, we can defend ourselves. And when we get a chance, let's shut down these ballistas as well so they can stop shooting at us. Okay, I have not even come close to the ballistas, and they are already marching away. So that might indicate that the enemy is just gonna retreat. And that's exactly what happened. So they just retreated off. And yeah, pretty indecisive, but I munched a lot of their... Yeah, oh gosh, I only killed 173 guys. Yeah, but I only lost 10, and I did a lot of damage to a lot of their genites. So there is that. There is that. Now it's going to be a question of, do I have the strength to even go up against the armies that I lost to in Brittany? That is going to be the question. So I did win. I did sink one of the boats here in the Bay of Biscay. And I did sink another boat here in the Costa Verde. Perfect. Awesome. And I also did sink 2 German boats. Oh, I thought there was only 1. Perfect. And it looks like they're going to be demanding 1,700 florins so that I can get those 269 men back that were captured. The nobles that were captured, neither of which are or was my 7-star general, which is unfortunate. I will pay the money. Yes, I will pay the money. And French bandits in Ile-de-France, okie dokie. And, okay, so bandits and French loyalists, sure. And holy shit, damn, okay. That's a lot of loyalists here in Normandy. Yeah, I guess, okay, and this is something that I suppose may have been mentioned at some point, but this makes sense. The amount of loyalists does match the troops that ended up back in Normandy, right? Whereas a lot of times, usually, if you just kind of leave a province completely undefended and there's a loyalist rebellion, it's just like 1 unit. But this is over a full stack because my units that retreated from Brittany ended up back in Normandy, and there you go. So that's that could be a challenge to deal with. Let's see. I have achieved the highest technological excellence. Excellent. A galley was sunk in the Eastern Mediterranean. And Prince Nicephorus is matured. I don't know if he's going to be the heir or not. He's irritable, so +1 dread, and he's also a great warrior, so +5 health. Wonderful. Lord Fucus is a skilled attacker, so +1 command when attacking. So that means he's a 10-star general when he attacks. Pff, great. That's wonderful. And that's it. That's all. That's all. So Lord, or not Lord, but Prince Nicephorus, he's good. He's good. A lot of dread, 4 stars, 4 acumen, enough loyalty, and he's good. Is he? So he's not the heir. So the Prince John is going to be the heir, and he's a 6-star general, so he's good as well. Yeah, good shit. So, all right, how is this going to go? To siege out the forces here in Anger's castle, it's going to take 2 turns, 2 years. I could just attack them right now. I do have the siege equipment. I do have mangonels in this army, which are my top tier siege equipment. Will the Spanish even give me a chance, though? Because I kind of imagine that they might just attack me with all of their forces that are here in Brittany. And I kind of would welcome that. Because I plan on just bringing... Oh, I can't bring these armies back. Ugh. Because I can't move them because they've just been ransomed. Okay, I can bring them back because they just retreated. And I can bring you... Yeah, these armies are chewed up. So I can bring all those guys. And they will simply just have to retreat from this battle. And they will be able to obviously retreat to Anjou, which will be fine. And this French Loyalist Rebellion: archers, pavis arbalesters, feudal sergeants, feudal men-at-arms, hobilars, which is a good, light cav, mounted sergeants, men-at-arms. Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, that's solid for sure. Not something that I would have preferred to give the French for free, but that's how it goes. And I think that what I will do is attack the Spanish garrison here in Anjou, and I will see if the Spanish want to attack me and try to relieve their garrison. I would kind of imagine they would want to do this. But another option is that I can... Ooh, yes. Because my armies should be able to reach... Yeah, I can attack the Spanish here in Brittany if I wanted to. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I should come up with enough forces. Let's see. I would like to see, yeah, I can probably bring some forces from Georgia. And maybe even like a stack or two from Bulgaria. The forces that I'm bordering, the Poles and the Hungarians, are not strong. So I can spare a stack or two from Bulgaria in addition to 2 or 3 sacks from Georgia, just to make sure I get the job done. Go into Brittany, kick some ass. While I'm doing this, I can also siege Anjou. Now, they could simply abandon Brittany and try to relieve their garrison in Anjou. That is totally an option. While this is happening, I can also try to get a ceasefire with the Germans. And here you are. Let's see if I can talk to you. And if he says no, I can send forces from Serbia into Croatia. I'm shocked that the Hungarians have not reconquered Hungary. I know your forces are pretty weak, but you have enough Royal Knights to beat a crossbowman and an urban militia. So what the heck are you waiting for? Is it a river province? Is that the problem? No, it's not. It's not. There's no river stopping you. Take back Hungary. It's making 900 foreigns, for God's sakes. Jesus. You want that province. Guys, you want it. I know you do. All right, well, how's my income? I'm making 1,500. Huzzah. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's nice to make some money. I reckon this should do the trick. When I was just choosing armies from Georgia, I left behind a lot of my Varangian guards because I already did have a stack of Varangian guards just hanging out in Greece, waiting around. So these are pretty well upgraded Varangian guards with silver shields and all that good stuff. There's a lot of them here as well. And something I just brought, I just wasn't really looking at my stacks. I just kind of brought a bunch of stacks that didn't have Varangian guards in them. And that's what I did. I need a general. I want a decent general that I don't have over here. So what I was looking at was, I have this guy. He's no longer part of the succession line. I believe he was at one point, but Lord Provanci, he is the commander of my fleet. So I've given him that title. He's a 6-star general. Unfortunately, he's also a good runner, which is -3 morale. The charismatic leader also gives +3 morale, so these do cancel each other out, but it's just unfortunate that there's a good runner trait. But he's just kind of hanging out here doing nothing, and I do have one of my sons, Prince Michael, defending Bulgaria as well, so I don't need this guy here. He can probably go out, get some action in, you know, see if he can sort of redeem himself for running away. I can't even remember when that happened, but it must have happened at one point. And yeah, he can lead this army here into Brittany. It's a decent enough army so that hopefully that can overcome his shortcomings as a leader, but still 6 stars is still 6 stars. And while that's happening, it's going to be interesting to see if the Spanish do want to try to relieve their garrison here in Anjou, because I'm going to be going in here and just straight up conquering this. It's just a keep. Yeah, keep with no defensive upgrades. So my mangonels will make short work of those fortifications, and I will be able to finish off that garrison. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Spanish army here in Brittany wants to stand and fight, or if they want to retreat, or if they want to relieve this garrison. And then I will have to decide if I want to swing back up here to Normandy just to get rid of this French army that has kind of popped up here, and it's big enough to be maybe threatening, but also my forces are pretty decent themselves, and without there being any Spanish boats in the water, I can reinforce myself anywhere I want. So at this point, I should be able to clean up the Spanish forces here in Western Europe before I kind of move on in. And what have I killed any of their family members, or have I just not done that yet? There's still the 2 sons. I'm seeing 2 sons up there, and then I may have killed at least one of them. How old is he? He's 28. And he's 36. There's no one in this army. Oh, there's another. So there's a third one. Yeah, Alfonso's here. So I do have a chance of killing off 3 of the heirs here. The other one might have died already. And who is this? Lord Trastamara. Duke of Aragon, Lord High Admiral. Okay. Another 8-star general. Worth keeping an eye on. I also, speaking of titles, so yeah, that general that I just sent off, if he does not perform well, then I can simply relieve him of his title and maybe give it to someone that is more worthy. And also, in addition to that, I have finished another one of my buildings. I don't know which building is it? Commander of the Stables. So which building would that be? It's one of these. It's not the Admiralty. I know that much. But I don't know if it's a Constable's Palace or the Chancellery or the Royal Palace. Which one of those gives the title of the Constable of the Stables? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it doesn't say, does it? But it does grant 2 pips of loyalty and then 2 command stars. I was looking at who I would want to give that to, and what I think I'm going to wait for is for some of my current generals who are no longer going to be part of the line of succession at some point, perhaps Prince Michael, perhaps someone else. Someone who already has at least 3 stars. In this case, Prince Michael has 4 stars, and you know, he can be a good general. He gets +2 morale for being chivalrous, and bring him up to 6 stars with that title. Yeah, he can be good. But I do need him to leave that line of succession first before that happens. And yeah, I think I will be leaving these fights for the next episode, unfortunately. But I did get a couple of good scraps in. And the first one, I took a licking for sure. But it was nice, even though that second battle wasn't very decisive, it was nice to be reminded that I can win some things. So I'm going to be looking forward to the next episode to really redeem myself. I have to. After that, you know, I just lost 1,000 men in one battle. That was, yikes. So yes, you better believe it. I'm not going to wait another week before I come out with the next episode because I have to get back to this. This is unfinished business here between me and the Spanish. I'll tell you what. So, and as always, I just want to hope you enjoy this one. This has been Concept playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.